Hey guys, Richard here. Today we've got another tank review. Now today I'm going to be going for some of the lower tier selections, and for this one it's going to be the Star Spangled KV-1. This vehicle is an all-round beast for the tier. I mean, it's a tier 5. It is one of the tier 5 Russian heavy tanks. And this 85mm gun, where do I begin? Absolutely amazing for the tier. You've got 160 alpha, 120 pen just on those standard runs. You're pushing a third better pen than a lot of standard other guns at this tier in terms of, like, say a Sherman, for example, 91mm on that 75mm gun. It's just not compatible. I mean, a Sherman's gonna really struggle to pen you, and you're gonna Swiss cheese it. This vehicle, it's top class for a tech tree vehicle. I mean, not even just the gun stats will save it alone here. That armor, as I said, absolutely amazing. It'll be bouncing a fair amount of things your tier and below. Going up to tier 6, you might struggle with, say, KV-2s, T150s, ARLs, for example, Cromwells, T34s. They're going to start to go through it quite quickly, but that's because they do know the places to go through. Now, mobility-wise, it also isn't terrible if we have a look at the stat card over here. I mean, you're pushing 34, which is fairly standard for at least a tier 5 and going into a heavy tank category. 35 k's an hour is pretty standard. Turret traverse and tank traverse, yeah, it's slow. It's a tier 5 heavy. It's not going to be top of the line like your 277s, your super conks, your chieftains. Again, yeah, power to weight ratio 10. You're not going to be getting that top speed up a hill or a slope anytime soon. That's understandable. Realistically, in a city fight or getting into like a hull down or a side scrape position, this is where your KV-1 is gonna do work. Now, moving into the camo, non-existent. Moving on, going into your spotting capabilities, 340 for me, and this is me running a Brothers in Arms guild, crew, situational awareness, and recon on my commander. Yeah, it's a fairly good crew. I use it for this in my 222. That might come at a later date, though. That vehicle's a whole nother can of beans. I'm running vents on the first slot, fairly standard for any vehicle here. If it was in a boosted slot, I'd always recommend vents as well. Realistically, vents is boosting absolutely every slot card. Your heavy vehicles, your scouting vehicles, your mobility, it's boosting everything. So it's always my recommendation. You put it in the booster slot. Doesn't apply to tier 5s, unfortunately. Running in, I've got a gun rammer, and then I've also got a gun laying drive, just because the one thing that can let you down with this vehicle sometimes is indeed that dispersion. 0.39 is okay, but sometimes in longer ranges it will fall off quite quickly. Running all standard here, I'm running no premium ammunition, but I will talk about it for a quick second. As I said before, 120 is pretty good pen for this gun at least. 161 pushing on those premium shells if you're going to be paying that extra pretty penny. But yeah, 792, not bad shell velocity, fairly standard, and 990, about 1,000 meters per second, fairly standard as well here for your premium rounds. Now going into a bit of a tank review here, lining up with some of the other tier 5 heavy tanks and what used to be a heavy tank, the VK3001H, now a medium tank, no longer a heavy. Still fairly compatible as a heavy though, I would still class as a heavy in my opinion. Look, you've got one of the best alpha damages here. I mean, the BDR's pushing it, but then again, it's got a fairly slow, inaccurate gun. What you are getting is you're getting perhaps the best and very close to the T1 Heavy's DPM here. T1 Heavy, also a very lovely heavy tank. Another can of worms indeed. Yeah, best armor all around here for tier and heavy tanks, and yeah, it's a heavier tank, but it's definitely not the heaviest T1 Heavy. 58 tons. It's a ramming vehicle for sure. Yeah, not much that's top of the absolute tree here. It's just that all round, statistically speaking, and the general shape of the KV-1 here just makes it bouncy. You can side scrape, you can reverse side scrape, and to an extent you can go hull down with 7 degrees of gun depression. Aiming time 2.42. It's fairly competitive. Tier 5s are not renowned for their gun characteristics at all, apart from some that have derp guns, which just absolutely obliterate things. But yeah, maybe not. You do have a choice of guns though, and look, I'm probably always going to stick with the F30 cannon here, but you can go with a 122 derp, 140 pen on your heat, 11-second reload here, 370 damage. Look, it's good. A derp gun, you look at it stats wise, it's amazing, but realistically, Who's going to sit in front of a tier 5 heavy tank for 5.26 seconds and say, oh God, best give them my side? And again, 0.57 dispersion is absolutely shocking. I don't know about that long range. I mean, it is Russian, Scream Russia, it might just hit, but 9 times out of 10, I don't see you hitting shots with that derp gun, unfortunately. That's really enough said. There's not much more to this vehicle apart from a kind of sexy camo that I got running. I'm going to run into some games and we'll see how we do. So, yeah. Okay, running into my first game here. It's on Abbey, tier 6. Beggars can't be choosers here. Looks like there's 7 tier 6s either side, so that's a 7-8 split. Got one platoon on my side, one platoon on theirs. Let's see. Nazhorns, Rudy, KV-2s all around, of course, very popular at this tier. I've also 2 marked mine, so it's a very enjoyable tank. Okay, I reckon I'm going to go right side here. It's kind of the heavy alley for Abbey at least. Left side's generally considered to be more or less a TD and medium tank position, but you can also be seeing light tanks as well. Looks like I've got a KV-1 that's got some boosted hit points and a sexy looking camo coming my way. Remainder of the team, oh, T1 heavy, let's go for a sniping position in the mid. Looks like it's just us two. Clear, more beautiful map. I do like the nice white rocks. Kind of reminds me of the white cliffs of Dover. Definitely don't look around this map around outside the red borderline edges. Beautiful indeed. But this is a thing you can really do in heavy tanks, is have a whole scenic view and adventure on your way to the battlefield. Not very quick. Yeah, 30 k's now, and our Leopard looks like it's gone down a Type T-34. Fair enough. Tank carcass here, looks like some Panzer 3 or 4s and some Shermans. Taking the low ground here. It'll take a little while to get up that slope. See if I run into a tank, I might. Just gonna hold position now, aiming my gun. One off into the boogie. It's definitely got a nice gun, that one as well. Should be a bit of a concern. Tank behind me, however. Not enough rotation speed to get around a shot on him. Covenanter, but he's running directly into our Rudy. Looks like they're starting to push here. I'm a bit concerned. Oh, he's getting absolutely pulled for it. Oh, I've bounced one. Radio operator's out. And I'm getting M4'd in the back. Oh, I've definitely run out of support quite quickly here, unfortunately. Running the derp gun and I'm out of here. Crikey, 2.5 minutes and I'm gone. Can't do much when there's 3 out of your 15 team coming along, I suppose. Alright. Secret line, top tier. Only tier, tier 5. Couple bots either side, to be expected here in the ANZ server. Sometimes I like players. 5 either side. Got one Napalmer on my team. Big fan of him indeed. Give him a cheeky wave in the chat. What else I can really see? If you play tanks for a while, you watch a lot of Twitch and watch a lot of World of Tanks content. Start to develop a understanding of some names you might see on the battlefield. What I've just recognised is just how big the ammo storage capacity of the KV-1 is. 85 rounds of AP, well 90 effectively if I took out the 5 of HE. That's a lot of rounds, that's a lot of damage. Yeah, God. I'm going to go straight to a fairly early on position here that is good for KV-1s, and it's actually just directly in front of me here, as I've marked on the map using my lovely T key. Chaffee spot out early. A lot of view range here on the tier 5 lights. They definitely struggle just a little bit. Be looking for any shots on anything that's coming to press the opposite end. Here one heavy of ours is going in, that's a bot. Lucky shot there for me onto that enemy plot. I'll take a bit of farm, never hurt anybody. The track, got the tracking off. Engine shot perhaps. That's the VK I was talking about, the heavy tank, non-heavy tank. Not much shots on him. Oh, hello, God. Really good shot off. That is a wall Monzio. Actually getting some luckier shots off here. Really whittling away with this good DPM, that's for sure. Almost a consideration to be pushing in at this point. Always think about it when you're shooting a front target that the back one could be expecting a reload and pushing out 4 seconds. I probably myself wouldn't be doing it. Maybe up at top tier when I've got a good turret behind me and a reliable gun that's nice and snappy, I would. But a little bit of healthy baiting never hurt anybody. Bit of a miss there. I pen the very flat part of the KV-1's turret. Looks like it's not to be out. Looks like I'm going to go for a little push in here. See if I can go up against the other KV-1. No shots on that one. Definitely a lucky pen there. It was a bit orange. Now, there's these archways here, and I'm a bit concerned. And that Panzer IV's not running the derp gun, which means he's running the 75. I got this guy locked down. He's going to really struggle to go through me here. The perma tracking. That one wasn't going to go in any time soon as well. He's almost in one bang capacity for me. He is now. Got the hit point advantage here. Looks like I'll go for a push. Nice shot off there. And that Stug 4, it's got me in a nice crossfire position if I do try to cross back, and that Panzer IV could go down to him as well. A bit concerned about it. Want Wolverine out here, maybe get a shot on his backside. Don't mind. Apparently not today. Oh, no. All the way gone. Trying to push in a bit further. Damage potential for sure on this Stug 4. Even this other Wolverine here. 7 degrees gun depression. It's a fair amount for this tier, but not enough. Unspotted now. Always check my mini map for a nice bit of map awareness. One into the side. Okay. Pushing a lot further into this Stug. I'm going to struggle to get a shot off here. Didn't. Okay, and that's GG's. 2.2k. Fairly easy game there. Not a lot that would reliably pen me. Looks like their KV-1 and their Panzer IV, even though they didn't get many shots off, didn't really know where to shoot me. Mainly shooting to my side that was well angled from me, side scraping and only really damaging my track, not doing much more than that. I'll take that on every single day of the week. Okay, looks like we're getting all 3 parts of the spectrum for this one. A tier 6 game, tier 5 game, and now tier 5 4. Yeah, mean, it's Fishy Bay. You're looking probably on the stronger side to go down to the waterline. TDs like to set up at B1, G1, H2. Light tanks run amok in the mid. Yeah, one top tier heavy either side means that I could probably easily win an engagement against the Churchill, hopefully. See where we can go from there, I suppose. Got a cheeky bot friend in the B1. Definitely a powerful position as well is E6 and then F6 as well on this map. For medium tanks coming into the top tier games, very, very powerful crossfire positions indeed. More so on the other side of the map, you can shoot all the way back into here if you get the lights, which you generally do with good view range. And yeah, it's just generally that you can brawl it out with other mediums in there, and from the middle you can also rotate to whichever position you need to really in the game as the scenario unfolds. So definitely a powerful position to get in early. Wouldn't be surprised if people try to use it at low tier as well, but to less effectiveness. So VK pushing in. Couldn't quite see him for long enough to see him poke around that corner. It looks like he was a bit hesitant. Adopt some reverse side scraping and see where it gets me on this one. Definitely a bit of overextending. If that VK was in position, he could be slapping me for that. Don't know where he has gone though. Around downrange, we'll find out. Not there. Almost a prompt for me to push up if they are not holding that right side very well. Gonna go a bit aggro here. Could get me very well punished from that Skoda and the VK. Not where I wanted to be spotted at, that's for sure. That one didn't perma-track him, oh well. Derp gun misses. That B1's going to struggle to pen me, but that will definitely do damage to me. Okay, gonna have to out DPM this guy. Don't know why I'm not getting supported from the back very well. Bit of focus gameplay. He's given up, he's claimed it. Bit of a clutch up in there indeed. Gonna stay here till I get unlit. That Churchill's still back at the base. Hit me with a couple questions. Platooned up with that Skoda that got decimated on the cross. Don't have a lot of hit points to run in with. Churchill's just over half, which means he's about 350. Oh, sorry, a bit more than that now. God, with the HP buffs. I'll try to cross over the line here into this depression. Definitely make my way and cover some ground up to their base. Poke up for some vision if I need to. Don't like the sight of you. Crack hit, that's not what I like to hear at all. That's what I like to see. That's also what I like to see. Right, 2k damage game again. Tiny bit of seal clubbing, not gonna lie. It feels a bit disgusting for me, but oh well. T80 far range. Looks like I don't have any marker shots. Yeah, has this Churchill gone? Okay, he hasn't advanced far, that's for sure. Gonna struggle to see me through these bushes, which is definitely advantageous to me. He's got a weaker turret, but that front hull I can still go through quite significantly. Not if I bounce off the side with a glazing shot. Center masses looks like it's the death of him. Far range, aim at 10. Behind a rock for me. That one looked like it might have hit the rock in front of me. He's definitely got the view range above me here, so I'm a bit concerned, that is for sure. If I can get to a bush, I might just be able to outspot him, which it looks like there is one. Saying that, I'm not running out of ammo soon, and there's a couple bushes his way as well. Bit of concern. They haven't spotted an SU-85 on the enemy team. It's already got a kill, and a Hetzer. Two very ferocious vehicles for their tier. No spots in the M10. I might just wait and see if he wants to pull out and make any mistakes. I don't have the hit point advantage here. I'm a 2-shot for him, a 1-shot for an SU, a 1-shot for a derping Hetzer, and a 2-shot for his non-derp gun. Play it slow. If he tries to make any advances on our Type 95 pushing through the mid, we'll get him spotted if he shoots and he's not double bushed. Against me. Keo's been respotted. Hetz has been spotted, but over the way, cannot shoot through dirt unfortunately. Don't see any hit point bleed from our B1 type. Could be suggestive that the M10's rotated a bit to a firing position elsewhere. M10 lit. I miss my shots. I miss another one. That one doesn't. Needs to back up, and he's going to back up, run to my gun. Oh, an ammo rack. Side of an SU. Auto aim, center mass. Okay, there's one. Keep counting away at that position. Hopefully I get the kill. Might have backed back a bit, hang on. Advanced directly in front to this bush and he shouldn't... Ooh, hang on. Poor lead. Yeah, the lead. And that's GG, slamming into the side just below the Soviet Star. 3.3k Top Gun. That's probably my best game in this vehicle, and I don't play it that much, so bit of fun. Bit of fun indeed. I don't think that tier 6 game was a very good representation because I was quite outgunned. There was probably about 6-7 vehicles there against 3 of us. Realistically, that's not very realistic. But definitely a fun representation of, unfortunately, how you can go against some tier 6s and how sometimes the teams go, because as much as you can be a good player, it's not always guaranteed that your good play, being one player of a 15 team, doesn't mean that the whole team's going to win. So, fortunately, you win many if you play well, you lose many if you don't. So, yeah, not much more to say to that. 3.3, Top Gun, a high caliber, mastery class, just ammo rack on that M10, one of the stronger vehicles for TDs at tier 5, that M10 RBFM, I think. The Frenchie, very powerful vehicle as well, but wasn't very observant of a player, and he didn't really expect me here. He should have been checking his map. That's probably going to summarize it today. 3 games, a tier 6, a tier 5, and a tier 5-4. Yeah, a powerful vehicle. You can see that you do bounce rounds, and if you side scrape and you use that strong turret armor, it's definitely a very effective vehicle to use indeed. Strong game to let it off. I'll leave it with you guys. It's been rigid. It's been fun. I'll see you next time.